Mm-hmm.
How are you doing health-wise now that you're back on the field a little bit?
Yeah, I'm working through some things, but we getting all taken care of. I'm doing what I can for the most part.
What do you think clicked for you last season when you started, producing, getting on the field, and showing some stuff?
I think what clicked for me is just knowing the offense in and out, building that chemistry with all the QBs. I think that's just the most thing that made it click for me.
You made some plays at times. You did, I think, against Missouri last year. Is that your best attribute is the ability to make explosive plays?
Yes, sir. I would say that's one of my attributes. I bring other stuff to the team, but yeah, that's one of my most prominent attributes, explosive plays. Anything else?
Year two playing football in the States, how much of a difference is that between now and when you started?
I mean, it's definitely a huge difference. Like back home, I could basically survive off like athleticism, size, all that. In here, like I've really had to like hone in like on my technique and everything, like learning the offense, all that kind of stuff to make like the game slow down and everything.
This is no knock on you, but I watched your high school tape and it looked like you're playing against me a lot of times. It's obviously a difference between here and there. How do you begin to adjust to that?
I mean, like I said, like learning a lot about my technique. Like I've transitioned from like playing D-end back home to now playing interior D-line, so that was like a big change up for me. And just like getting with my coach, studying film, showing up at practice, that's like just like staying at it basically.
What did you learn last season, getting to go up against SEC competition?
I mean, the one big thing that was like that kind of woke me up was like obviously like the physicality. It's like totally different. Going against like big teams and big stadiums, and just like staying level-headed was like a big thing for me.
How big of an obstacle at times was terminology and things? Obviously, just a completely different level of football here. I'm sure you're probably walking through things where coaches are asking you to do stuff a year ago where you have no idea what that means. Was that a thing for you, or was it not?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like language-wise or anything, but like football IQ-wise, yeah, of course. Like I had to learn like a lot.
What weight do you want to be at for the coming season?
Great question. Hey, I might have to ask my coach on that one, but probably like 305, 310, 310. Sorry, something like that.
Are you going to Cologne like in May, or are you going to stay here?
Yeah, I'm going home.
When coaches evaluate you and meet with you and tell you what they like, where you need to improve, what is the feedback you're getting there?
I mean, they don't sugarcoat it. It's straight. Like, there's no like, you're from Germany. I don't get no passes or anything. Like, as it should be. Kind of got to earn my way.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Remember you came out last year in August and you had some pretty good scrimmages and practices where maybe made it look a little easier than it should have been. What was that transition more like, where you're making plays, but then you're learning on the back end? There's other things I need to know.
Yeah, for me it was just like I'm trying to become like a dependable like asset for like our defense, and just like building trust with the guys around me and the coaches. So yeah, that's like a big thing for me.
Like your quarterbacks have been really good and accurate with the ball when I've been here. Is that an accurate assessment?
Yeah, I think we're locating the ball pretty good. I don't think it's just them. I think, of course, our skill guys, I think we're doing a really nice job, better job with our splits and our spacing and understand what we're trying to do in the pass game. And the quarterbacks are locating it, but those guys are catching it better. And we're definitely putting the ball in play, at a higher percentage right now.
How much is it easier for you? And I guess this is really year two because you didn't have controls of the offense from the start in 2021. How much as you pile another year on top of another year, does that make your job easier?
Well, no question. And it makes our job as coaches easier, but honestly, it makes the job of the players easier. They're hearing the same voice, same consistent rules on certain plays and how we want to coach things. And you go through spring practice, but there's nothing like game experience and learning from it and then applying what we learned throughout the fall into this spring. But I thought the kids did a really nice job of learning from the past, and then also really I think we're maturing and being able to take the meeting room right now to the field much quicker.
Feels like you guys are doing a lot of situational stuff, like maybe compared to what the average team can do during spring ball, since you got everything, you got the offense in. Like, how much does that help you think heading in?
Well, I think it teaches the game to our kids at a high level, and so much goes into, situational football, and you get what you emphasize. And, when you talk about third down plays in the red zone, or you talk about being, backed up, we call it the knockout zone, there's so much learning that you try to teach, as a coach, but if you don't emphasize it, you don't rep it, it's really hard to learn it. And we've done a great job. Coach Lee's designed spring practice at a high level to give us the opportunity to really learn how to be successful in those situations that ultimately we believe will be a difference for us in the fall.
Like a ton of returners. I mean, do you sense that kind of chemistry and continuity when you watch the guys play and watch film?
I do. I think we still got a long way to go, and we'll keep working, but we're farther ahead. And I thought we've had a very productive, really winter. I know we're in spring practice now, but starting when we got back in January, hit the ground running. I think it's you're seeing it on the practice field.
Tight end group been more to replace than maybe any other position group?
Yeah, from a true experience standpoint, with Ben and Gavin last year, playing so much football for us. Now it's Justin Ball and Cole Spence, and of course those guys are traditional and wise and have done a lot of good things for us. But then we moved Logan as well, and it's had a really productive spring for us. So those three guys have gotten a ton of reps. He of course transitioned from receiver, so there's a lot to learn. But I thought he's had an unbelievable spring, to be honest with you. So we're happy with that room, and they're learning every day.
The spring game's fun to get out here and compete and just play in front of a crowd and all that.
Yeah, it's a combination of 14 hard practices, and it's one more, and everyone's going to play, and our kids have earned that right. And but it's good to get out and compete in a game-like setting, and we still got some young players that haven't played a whole lot of football. So it's nice to see them in that environment and kind of simulate the best we can in the spring, a game day atmosphere, and let them go have some fun and let them go play.
I know you got some parts missing from your running back room that'll be here in the fall, but how do you feel about what you've seen from the guys you have?
Yeah, I think Patrick Smith's done a great job from taking the bull by the horns and leading the room, and from a leadership standpoint, and really productive and really efficient. He knows what we're doing at a high level. And then of course Chase Gillespie got his feet played early, I think the first 4 games last fall, so has game experience, and he's done a nice job. And then been really happy with Cedric Alexander. Ceddy, a mid-year enrollee, has progressed as the spring went on, and excited about what he's doing. And then of course DP's banged up right now, but he'll be back and has done some nice things as well. So I think we know what we got in that room, and I think they're being very productive. Really know what we're doing in the run game, but also in pass protection. All those guys are good in pass protection, will help us them being every down backs.
What do you think of how Walt and Drew have come along this spring?
Excited for them. I really like our room. Of course, AJ's coming back. Ken's played a lot of football, really. Drew Dickey and Walt, young guys that redshirted, that really getting their first action this spring. But those guys can play, and we're excited about it. And competition brings out the best in everybody. But really like where they're at right now.
You've got more bodies on the offensive line that have played games before than I remember on a Vanderbilt team in a long time. How do you assess where that room is? How much does that experience help you?
Well, it's huge. We got a lot of guys that played alongside each other and real game experience. So like the communication is at a different level this spring than it has been. Guys, understanding their role and how they fit together, whether it's a base combo block, but leverage the linebackers, and you can see that. So I think that's huge. And you said it. I'm with you. I don't know if I've had that many guys in a spring that have played. I'm talking about the 1-0 line, the 2-0 line, and rotating guys through. So that's been fun to watch, and I think Coach Blas is able to communicate and coach at a different level than typically you do in the spring, just because there's so much experience back.
Well, and one of the places where you've got it is at center, where it seems like Julian's been here playing that spot forever. How much does it help specifically there, where you've got a center who probably knows as much about what to do as you can hope for?
Yeah, no, it's huge. You talk about in offensive football, starting at center, at quarterback, being strong down the middle, and it starts at the center. And he's played a lot of football and can communicate at a high level, and our quarterbacks do a lot of communication as well. But he's right there that can make young guys right and all that type of stuff, which is huge when you're a young quarterback out there playing.
Anything else? You really want to change a lot that maybe Jesse had done before, but you're a different guy. You're always going to do things differently. Now that you're second year in this, how much easier is your job? How much more comfortable is everybody with the way you want things done?
I think time and simplification has helped us to get to the things that we want to do. Last year I think it was, when we came in, we simplified a lot of things, and it was just time to, execution, and we've simplified things a lot, so it's good.
Is simplification a strategy you still want to continue, or
yeah, we want to be able to play anything we have fast. If we can't play it fast, then we want to not do it. So that's what we're trying to do right now.
How much of that is dictated by some of the fast tempo offenses you see?
I mean, you go into a different mode when there's a fast tempo offense. Your menu's going to simplify. You're going to have, each team is going to be that way, but definitely does.
Was that an issue a year ago when you're facing Tennessee?
No, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I think we had the stuff we wanted. I just think that, lack of execution and things like that was more of it than not having the things that we wanted. So,
What do you think of how, the redshirt freshman DBs have come along this year?
Redshirt freshman DBs, I'm trying to think who that would be. So Gumbo, Jadis didn't redshirt, so not him. Trudell.
All the 2022 guys. Yeah.
They're improving, those kids are improving every single day. It takes time. Development takes time, but I've seen those guys make strides forward for sure.
Do you think you have guys on the edge that can get to the passer more in talent and number than you had a year ago?
Yes, we have more guys that are capable of rushing the passer, and we have more guys within our schemes, when we try to dictate, that we'll be able to get to the passer.
Can you be specific, like who that is, who's taken a job?
Gosh, I mean, I think all those guys have improved. I like Nate Clifton's improved a lot. I think Darren Agu's improved a lot. The addition of Aeneas DeCosmo is going to help us a bunch. I think Braden Baps, I think interiorly, like Devin Lee's gotten better. I see all those guys on the defensive line have just improved. They're just a year more comfortable with what we're doing. They're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger. So all those guys.
I know you've got Ethan and you've got Kane, but it feels like when Langston's been out here, and this was the same in the fall, he just makes a ton of plays. Where does he fit with what you're looking to do? Maybe how much better is he than a year ago?
I really like Langston a lot. He's a football player, meaning he can do a lot of different things. He can run, he can tackle, he can block, he can catch. That's been evident the whole time he's been here. He plays really, really hard. What I've seen from Langston in the past year is being able to refine his skills to be able to fit within the tactics that we have, and so he's a lot more comfortable, and we expect big things from him. We have high confidence in him.
CJ Taylor took a big step last year. How can he be even better?
Really just refining his fundamentals. I think he can continue to get better in his process of preparation, continuing to get in better shape, get stronger, get faster. So for him, last year was, a better understanding of what we're trying to do. Now I believe that his individual process of how he goes about things and his preparation, both physically and mentally, can push him forward.
What do you think of Ethan and Jalen, the early enrollees?
Good. They've done a nice job. Very happy. Like I'd say those guys, in comparison to a year ago, I think those dudes have come in very ready, very eager to learn. I think Ethan's a really good football player, and we're really excited about him. I think Jalen is a guy, you ask pass rush, there's a guy with some natural ability. He's a very humble learner, so they're both been awesome.
How much does it help to have both your safeties back in the role they're in for the second straight year?
It's good. It's fun. I mean, I'm having fun with those guys. When you look a year ago, it took us about, and this is me, it took halfway through the season to kind of figure out whose role was where in the scheme, and we got that defined. And what you're seeing is those guys, particularly DeRicky, Jalen, and CJ Taylor, getting very comfortable in their roles with what we're doing. So, yeah, they're getting better, which is exciting because they're both good players.